Hi guys and welcome to another video. At the time of filming this, it's been a few days since the Pokemon Direct, and I'm still so excited. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl look much better than they did before, and they also implement following Pokemon and many other improvements from the original games. And I'm so excited for that, because I was very worried they're going to be very faithful remakes and not change anything from the originals, but thankfully that's not the case. But what really got me excited is the new trailer for Pokemonlegendsarceus Arceus, because in that trailer they not only revealed Hisuian regional forms, but also evolutions to previous Pokemon. We got to see Hisuian Graveler, Hisuian Braviary, Basculegion, an evolution to Basculin, and Weirdeer, an evolution to Stantor. But it's still not clear if Basculegion and Weirdeer evolve from regular Basculin and Stantor or their regional forms, because regular Pokemon often evolve into regional variants. But all of the new evolutions we got in Sword and Shield evolved from regional variants. But either way, I'm still very excited about them, especially because both Basculin and Stantor were Pokemon fans wanted to see get an evolution for years. So it seems that Game Freak is finally listening to their fans. So today I'm going to list 10 Pokemon I think need to get an evolution in Pokemonlegendsarceus Arceus. Number 1. Delibird. Delibird is the first of many Gen 2 Pokemon on this list. That's because Gen 2 introduced a lot of Pokemon that weren't part of an evolutionary line. Some got an evolution or a pre-evolution later on, but most didn't. And a Pokemon I think desperately needs an evolution is Delibird. That's because Delibird's base set total is only 330, and signature move present actually has a chance to heal the opponent. I think Delibird's evolution should still keep its Santa Claus inspiration. It should be a big and kind penguin that loves helping other nice people, but if it ever sees somebody being a bad person, only then will it show how scary and powerful it can actually get. Number 2. Quailfish. Quailfish's base set total is 440, and even though that's much better than Delibird's, it's still not great. I don't think I've ever seen anybody using a Quailfish on their team. And its design is also pretty bland, it just looks like an animated blowfish. But apparently it's also partly based on an evil mine, and I think its evolution should embrace that inspiration more. But I've seen a lot of people just straight up turning Quailfish into an evil mine with a face. But I think it would be better if it gained armor and spikes that resemble an evil mine, and then become a water steel type. Number 3. Kamal. I realize Kamal is probably the least likely Pokemon in this list to get an evolution. That's because its base set total is already 480, and it was introduced in Gen 7, and since we're still currently Gen 8, that was only one generation ago. But I still really want Kamal to get an evolution, because it looks really cute and small, so it actually resembles the first stage of an evolution line. But also, according to almost all of its Pokédex entries, it spends its entire life sleeping. So I think when it evolves, it should not only get much bigger and stronger, but also wake up, and now be full of energy after such a long nap. And maybe its log should turn into some kind of weapon, maybe like a hammer. Number 4. Danceparts. Danceparts is probably the most requested Pokemon ever to get an evolution. So if Game Freak truly started listening to their fans, it should get one. And that's because it just really looks like a Pokemon that should evolve. And that's mostly because of the tiny wings it has on its back. They have absolutely no reason to be there, because it can't use them to fly, and it's not even a flying type, it's just a normal type. But a good reason for them being there would be that they turn into big wings once it evolves. And I think a perfect evolution for Danceparts would be a long, snake-like dragon with big majestic wings. Number 5. Shaco. Shaco is kinda ridiculous. Its base set total is 505, but its defense and special defense are both 230, while all of its other stats are ridiculously low. But also under the right circumstances, Shaco can do more damage in one hit than any other Pokemon in existence. Dobbs did a great video on that, so check it out if you haven't already. I'll put a link to the video in the description below. And I realize Shaco is kind of a gimmicky Pokemon, but I still think it should get an evolution. And I think Shaco and its evolution could do the same thing Scyther and Scizor did. so have the same base set total, but differently spread out stats. And I think Shaco's evolution should definitely have more evenly spread out stats. An idea I have for Shaco's evolution is that it gets a bunch of spikes on its shell. So to attack, it rolls over towards its enemy and hits it with its spikes. But its shell had to get much thinner, so that explains the lower defense stats. Number 6. Jirachi. I actually used a Jirachi on my Soul Silver playthrough, and had a lot of fun using it. But most people seem to overlook Jirachi, or even think it's really forgettable. That's why I think it should get a really cool evolution. I won't change too much about the front half of Jirachi. Maybe it will get a more intimidating face, or some other details, but it will still stay relatively the same. But its tail will get much bigger and much more menacing. But instead of fighting amongst each other, Jirachi and its tail would learn to work together, and that's why they would become much more powerful. Maybe they could even get a signature move in which they both attack at the same time, or do a combined attack. Number 7. Memoractus. Memoractus is probably one of the most forgotten and overlooked Pokemon of all time. In its native region of Unova, it can be found in one location, the Desert Resort, so can easily play through the entirety of Unova without encountering Memoractus once. But it's also based on a cactus, but Cacnea and Cactuar were only introduced 2 generations ago, so it gets heavily overshadowed by them, so it desperately needs an evolution. But I can't really think of any good inspiration for Memoractus' evolution. Maybe the things on its head will grow bigger and have more spikes and it throws them another Pokemon as an attack, but not even I really like that inspiration. So if you have any good inspiration for Memoractus' evolution design, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Number 8. Love Disc. Love Disc really needs an evolution. Its base stat total is only 330, which makes it basically useless. And its design is one of, if not the most boring Pokemon design of all time. It's just a heart with a really simple face. And a perfect evolution for Love Disc would be a Alomomola, but Alomomola was introduced in Gen 5, which was a sort of soft reboot, so none of the Gen 5 Pokemon were evolutionary related to any of the previous Pokemon. But my evolution for Love Disc would be really similar to Alomomola. It'd be a bigger pink fish, which is really kind and caring towards other Pokemon. Number 9. Toros. Every Gen 1 Pokemon that wasn't part of an evolutionary line in Gen 1, or wasn't a mythical or a legendary Pokemon, or in later generations got a pre-evolution, an evolution, a mega evolution, or a Gigantamax form, other than Ditto and Toros. And obviously, Ditto just transforms into the opponent Pokemon, so it doesn't have to get anything. But there was no need for Toros to be left out like that. And I think a great inspiration for Toros' evolution would be the Minotaur. Even though Toros is already really cool looking and really strong, I think Toros' evolution based on Minotaur could be even cooler and even stronger, and actually also really intimidating. Number 10. Torkoal. A big part of Torkoal's inspiration is that it burns coal in its back. Coal is even part of its name, but it doesn't really lead to anything other than smoke coming out of its back and nostrils. So I think its evolution should have a big furnace on its back that is constantly burning coal, and the energy produced from that burning should power up Torkoal's attacks. So of course it will have a much higher attack and special attack stat. It could even have a signature move in which it will produce an extremely powerful attack, and that burns up all of its coal. But then its attack and special attack get harshly lowered, because it no longer has any coal to power up its attacks. And that's the list. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, maybe consider liking it, or maybe subscribing to my channel and hit the bell button, so you get notified when I upload another video. Also, leave me a comment telling me, what Pokemon do you wish would get an evolution in Pokemon Legends Arceus? Yes, it's Arceus, not Arceus. I know I said Arceus earlier, but it's just a force of habit. I know Arceus is now the correct pronunciation. And also, sorry I didn't show art for any of these Pokemon in this list and just describe them to you, because I don't have the money to pay the artists to actually draw this evolution, so you could just imagine them in your head. And that's all I have to say for now, so I hope I'll see you again, and bye.